What's up guys, it's Rob, and today we're going to be looking at the glorious Model O Wireless. I did add this mouse to my mouse review sheet. Link to that is down in the description. I add every single mouse I review into that sheet, so please go check it out. So the Model O Wireless is the wireless version of the glorious Model O. It is the exact same shape as the glorious Model O, and the Model O Wireless comes out to 70 grams on my scale. This is an $80 wireless mouse, which is incredible value because this is actually a very solid mouse, and it might be the best wireless mouse out right now. Because honestly, I really struggle to find anything wrong with this mouse. So first off, let's see how this mouse was for my hand size. So normally I use claw grip with every single mouse that I use, and I was of course using claw grip when using this mouse as well. But I'm also able to comfortably palm this mouse and fingertip as well. At my hand size, every single one of those grip styles is a good option, but I would just note that when using claw, since the base of my palm is kind of sitting back, I somewhat struggle pressing down on mouse 4 over here. I kind of have to reach for it. This is just something to know if you have small hands like me. But if I just palm this mouse, I am able to comfortably press mouse 4 and mouse 5 with no issues at all. But I thought it was something to note, just in case we have similar hand sizes. But other than that, I had no issues with any of the grip styles, and yeah, the mouse was very comfortable for claw, palm, or fingertip at my hand size. So yeah, my hand length comes in at 17.5 centimeters long, and the width of my hand is around 9.5 centimeters wide. So the coating of the mouse seems to be pretty average. The mouse really isn't crazy grippy, but it's not slippery either. So it's kind of in between. There is some grip to it, but the amount of grip really isn't all that special, and I really had no issues with my sweaty hands because I really do have sweaty hands, and this is why coating is a big deal for me, so I always have to look out for that. And yeah, having sweaty hands with this mouse really isn't all that of a big deal. The coating does gather up some gamer gunk on the sides of the mouse, mouse 1, mouse 2, and on the holes, but it doesn't gather it all that fast like some other mice, so it really doesn't have to be cleaned all that often. But I just thought it was something to note. Of course, since this is the wireless Model O, there is no cable to it. The cable that you do get with the mouse is pretty flexible, although you really won't be using it all that much with the cable because the battery life is around 71 hours without RGB. And for the week that I used this mouse, I did not have to end up charging the mouse for the entire week. It was getting close to dying at the end of the week, but yeah, it has a nice battery life. Now, the mouse feet of the mouse have a very nice smooth glide to them. The mouse glides really well on my mouse pad, and I really didn't have any scratchiness or anything like that. I had no issues with the mouse feet. The glide feels good, and yeah, that's why I think the mouse feet are really solid. So unfortunately, I did get a defective copy, and I have seen many other people get defective copies as well, and it does seem like this is somewhat of an issue with the quality control of this mouse. But the problem I had with my mouse was that both mouse 1 and mouse 2 have some vertical play. It kind of almost feels like mouse 1 and mouse 2 are not sitting on anything. They're kind of just floating and are loose. Every time I put my fingers down on mouse 1 or mouse 2, I can feel them moving up and down. As you can see right here, I can move mouse 1 up and down like that without even actuating mouse 1. And mouse 1 and mouse 2 are so loose that when I shake the mouse, it actually causes a lot of rattle, which is actually terrible. This is a horrible feeling when I'm trying to play the game because mouse 1 and mouse 2 don't even feel like they're sitting on anything. They kind of just feel like they're loose. And I already contacted Glorious. I will be sending my copy back, and I will be receiving another copy because this is of course a defect, and you shouldn't really expect this on your Model O wireless. Other than that defective issue, mouse 1 and mouse 2 do feel nice and crisp. They are pretty light to press down on as well, but they are not too light, which is pretty nice. But yeah, I really had no other complaints with mouse 1 or mouse 2 other than my defective issue. I really didn't have any issues with the side buttons of the mouse. I would just take note that they are pretty skinny, but they performed fine. I had no issues with them whatsoever. No pre or post travel on either of the buttons. And yeah, they have a nice loud crisp click to both of them. So no real complaints there. The mouse wheel feels good when scrolling down and up. It seems to require minimal force to scroll up or down, but it is not too light. So I wasn't accidentally scrolling up or down, which is obviously a good thing. And when scrolling up or down, it is somewhat quiet. For those who do not like loud scroll wheels, this will not be an issue for you, unless you're just actively trying to make it sound loud. But if you're just scrolling normally, it sounds pretty quiet. And when pressing down on middle mouse button, it does somewhat feel mushy, which is not a good feeling at all. It feels very similar to pressing down on the middle mouse button or the scroll wheel of the Ninja Air 58 Final Mouse. So if you've ever used that mouse, you would know that pressing down on that scroll wheel really isn't all that great, and it is very similar to that, but it is not as bad. But other than that, the mouse wheel still performed great, and I had no issues with it. Now the build quality of this mouse is really good because when I try stress testing this mouse, I get no flex anywhere and no creaking whatsoever when pressing down on the mouse. It feels really solid, and when I shake it, I only get rattle because of my mouse 1 and mouse 2 defect, but other than that, I would not get rattle on this mouse, and the mouse doesn't feel cheap at all. Even though it has holes, it does not feel like it would break or anything like that. It feels very high quality and extremely solid. So now, would I recommend this mouse? Yes, I definitely would, but I would probably advise you to wait to buy this mouse. Because I have been seeing a lot of people getting defective copies, the quality control seems to be pretty bad right now. So I would wait for Glorious to weed out all of these quality control issues so that when they release new batches of this mouse, you would get a copy that does not have any problems and you would have a very solid mouse in your hands. This is definitely one of, if not the top wireless mouse out right now. And if you like the Model O, you will definitely love this mouse. This is definitely an upgrade, but I would just keep in mind that right now there are some quality control issues. So yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun using this mouse. For 80 bucks, you definitely cannot go wrong. Like I said before, I will be getting a new copy because mine was defective. So I will be sending this mouse out and I will be finishing up my review on my mouse review sheet with my mouse 1 and mouse 2. So definitely keep an eye out for that since I will be updating it, and I do update that mouse review sheet as often as I can with new mice coming out. So yeah, link to that is down in the description, of course. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.